I'm Christina Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories.
A judge has placed a lien on all Robert Francis O'Rourke's money and property and bans him from raising any additional money to give to the rogue Democrats who skipped town. Tarrant County District Judge Megan Fahey issued the temporary restraining order, placing restrictions on the failed gubernatorial candidate and his nonprofit, Powered by the People. The order comes after Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against O'Rourke and George Soros for funding the Democrats who left the state to block a vote on redistricting. The vote was also being held to lower taxes and give aid to the victims of the recent flood in Kerrville. The restraining order prevents O'Rourke from removing any assets from Texas and bans him from raising or distributing money to support those Democrats. The restraining order comes because of Paxton's investigation into what he calls Beto bribes. Paxton saying that O'Rourke's fundraising violated Texas laws against bribery, deceptive trade practices, and improper use of political funds. The court agreed, finding probable violations of the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act, which prohibits false or misleading acts in commerce, which applies to political fundraising. A hearing on whether to extend the restrictions into a temporary injunction is set for August 19. The Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, a terrorist organization, quietly funneled $100,000 into Socialist Zohran Mamdani's campaign. CARE was designated a terrorist organization in 2014 by the UAE, who asserts CARE is the Muslim Brotherhood, aka Hamas. After Mamdani won the Democrat nomination for New York City mayor, he was immediately congratulated by CARE. However, days before that, CARE quietly funneled the money into a super PAC backing Mamdani's campaign and sparking concerns over foreign designated terrorist groups influencing and infiltrating U.S. elections. The donation came from CARE's Unity and Justice Fund, a political action committee created last year to push Muslim ideology in U.S. politics. The money was funneled through New Yorkers for Lower Cost, the largest PAC supporting Mamdani's socialist bid to freeze rent, abolish private property, defund the police, abolish ICE, use subways for homeless housing, and other socialist policies. The PAC has also drawn support from anti-Israel figures like Linda Saucer and groups like End the Occupation, fueling accusations that Mamdani is a radical Muslim that aligns with terrorist groups who are hostile to Israel and America. Mamdani, a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, has touted phrases like globalize the intifada, a call that incites violence against Jews and now Americans, and has refused to say Israel has a right to exist. 1,500 migrants who don't speak English were booted from their truck driving jobs after the Trump administration started aggressively enforcing English requirements. The first group of unqualified migrant drivers who were fast-tracked into their positions during the Biden administration have officially been removed from America's highways, making the U.S. a safer place to drive, according to Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Under the Biden-Harris administration, hundreds of thousands of migrants, most of whom didn't speak English or go through background checks, hit the roads in massive semis. Many of those drivers are illegal migrants or were allowed into the country through one of Biden's migrant programs and were allowed to get CDLs despite not being able to speak English or pass any tests. The migrant priority pushed American workers out of their positions, according to Duffy. Because of Trump's April executive order, truck drivers are going through intensified inspections where drivers who fail English are immediately put out of service. There have been numerous instances of migrants who don't speak English, many of whom are illegal or on temporary visas, operating massive semi-trucks without skills or oversight, crashing into vehicles and killing Americans. Ranchers in California's Potter Valley are facing the sudden shutdown of their irrigation water supply because of a Pacific Gas and Electric project that prioritizes fish over people, and it's backed by Governor Gavin Newsom. Potter Valley ranchers were hit with no warning when PG&E depleted Lake Pillsbury to critically low levels, effectively cutting off irrigation water without federal approval. The plan, greenlit under Governor Newsom, focuses on salmon restoration over the needs of thousands of residents and agricultural operations. Ranchers like those in Potter Valley, who depend on the project's tunnels to irrigate pastures for cattle grazing, described the impact as devastating. Without water, their land turns barren, stripping away their ability to keep operating on farms that have supported families for generations. The move lines up with policies pushed by Newsom and Congressman Jared Huffman, who have championed dam removals to free rivers for fish migration. Residents point out political donations from PG&E to Newsom and Huffman totaling more than $3 million over the years. The water shortage will impact more than Potter Valley, possibly impacting the water supply for 600,000 people downstream, where the Russian River supplies drinking water and agriculture. Conservatives are now pushing for the federal government to step in and stop the, quote, attack on rural America.
That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Aguayo.